Child and Family Services of Southwestern Michigan has a history rich in community support. In the early years, foster parent programs were a strong focus, and our adoption program connected children in need of permanent homes with warm and loving families. Elizabeth and Steve Upton share with us their experience as foster parents.
I think it was a need in me. Our kids were getting to be teenagers and I missed not having a baby, so I decided it would be much better if I took care of one and gave it back. Well, I didn't know how hard it is to give it back. We did it for 8 years, off and on. Sometimes I would get a phone call that they were dropping off a baby that day. They'd usually bring somebody from the hospital and we'd take care of it from birth. But many times also, it would be somewhere in foster care and it would need another foster mother. We had some 2 weeks and we had one a year. Michigan Child and Family Services explained what foster care really was. There was legal work that had to go on before the adoptive people were really signed in to adopt. We were just there while the legal work was done. And the reason we had one for a whole year, the mother who had given birth left the area. And while she had signed something that said her baby could be in foster care, she had another signature that was needed before he was adopted. That was very painful too. For us, when we said goodbye, we said goodbye on his first birthday. We learned so much from it. We took it on as a family.
It was a real pleasure for all of our kids to have this experience.
And then we followed a few of the later adoptions. One, the boy that was with us for a year. Another, Andy, now as a father himself. He knew the Melchers a little bit before they adopted Andy, and we were thrilled that they were going to have Andy.
Bob and Maria Melcher tell their story of adopting Andy into their family.
We were having trouble producing a baby, so my doctor suggested that we might try adoption.
So I guess we just felt very comfortable with Child and Family Services, staying with the local agency.
So we made an appointment to talk and got on the list.
And after about 2 years of going through all that, Maria was pregnant, and which was a pleasant surprise in that. But then the doctor advised that if you would like to have more children, probably still be a good idea to pursue adoption. So we reopened the file.
They called and said, we have a little boy that we'd like you to see. That was exciting, and we made the appointment.
Andy, it was about 6 months at that point. We went through the bridging where Uptons would come over and share time. They left to give us private time with him. And then I remember Elizabeth calling, I think, and saying that, said, well, things are done, are final.
The papers are finalized.
And Andrew should just stay with us. He was a very active kid.
Very intelligent, and he loved sports.
Excelled in that, and it carried right on to his profession now, which is dealing very much with numbers on a corporate level.
I thought it's this agency that saved him. They were there, and somebody found the agency, and the agency took care to find him a decent home.
Our history of community support continues by providing programs that meet the changing needs of families today. Our Link Crisis Intervention Center offers outreach and shelter services to at-risk youth, and our counselors assist them in developing healthy relationships with their families.
She had always been a great kid, and we trusted her, and she was doing very well in school at that point, very independent and able to take care of herself. We were very focused on raising our 2 new sons. We were also focusing very hard on building our business. Probably we weren't focusing on her needs as much as we should have been. The internet, like the MySpace pages, were getting really big at that time, Facebook, and we were just tipped off that she had been posting things that really should have us concerned about her well-being. There were some suicidal poems, some evidence of recreational drug use. It was quickly turning into a toxic home life because of the fighting. There was so much fighting all the time. We never knew what kind of girl was coming home from school, if she even was going to come home from school.
She had run away once. We went and we collected her. Months later, she had run away a second time, and we felt like running over and grabbing her was not necessarily going to solve any problems. We were researching. Do you send her to a military school? We were looking at detention centers.
We were grasping straws. We were going down, every possible avenue. And when we found out about the link, it was such a weight off of us that it was like, okay, this is something we can do. We can try this.
2 weeks of a safe place under a controlled environment for free for our troubled teenager was exactly what we needed at the time. The link, the counselors, and the time away from us was perfect. It worked out for us.
It was a big turning
perfectly.
point. Things were just better. They weren't easier, but they were better, and we felt like we were on the path towards healing. It just made all the difference, and that it felt like it saved her.
She is married. She has a son. Steady job for 8 years.
And happy.
As happy as I
And a joy to be around.
Can we attribute it all to the link? I don't know. I mean, parents probably had something to do with it, but there was a time where her parents did not really know what to do.
You have just heard only part of what Child and Family Services is all about. Along with the link, we also meet the needs of families today through 4 other programs. Your support of these programs makes you part of our rich history. Thank you.